Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Hermit group, or you may be in another category, but this is for the Hermits. Those are those who are kind of just starting to dissect and look at themselves and go inward a little bit. And I really think that these videos of chakras, the introduction of chakras, is really going to help you maybe understand energy a little bit more, understand how traumas and issues and codependencies manifest in your life and where they're stored and how we can go there and unblock them and live more healthier lives. So in this video today, we are going over the sacral chakra. It's known as the sacral plexus, but it's also called the sacral chakra. And if you're wondering where that is, for women, it would kind of be where your uterus is. And for men, if you just take your hand and put your thumb underneath your belly button, and then wherever your pinky finger lands, that would be the area of your sacral chakra. All right, so we're going to get into a little bit about the sacral chakra as far as what its role is, how it looks when it's blocked, how it looks when it's balanced, and I'll also give you a couple ideas at the end on how to balance it if it is something that is blocked. The sacral chakra is the one that is most connected to sexual energy. It's the most connected to creativity. It's connected to any traumas around sex or an act that is sexual or that kind of goes against our body or creates some type of repression on our body. That is going to be held in the sacral chakra. Okay, like if it really has to do with emotions, most relationships, if we have been sexually assaulted in our past, that relationship or that block would probably most likely be held in our sacral chakra. For a lot of us, that is where the deepest wounds are going to live with the relationships of the people in our lives. And this is because the sacral chakra is also responsible for the yin and the yang energy. What I mean by that is when we get together in relationships or we feel drawn to people, it is because of the sacral chakra, because this is the chakra of relationships. So if I'm kind of vibing in a very positive yin energy, then I'm going to attract somebody who is my mirror and has yang energy. Okay, so yin and yang energy want to attract. And if they are opposite mirrors of themselves, it's going to be an even stronger attraction. So any and most trauma that happens in relationships in general that are sexual or romantic, the trauma, the pain, even childbirth is going to be held in our sacral chakra. So we got to know what it looks like if it's blocked or if it's balanced, because if it's blocked, we definitely have to figure out why and balance that. Okay, so let's look at what it looks like when your sacral chakra is like out of balance. So the first thing that is the easiest for me to recognize is when people are not connected to their own emotions, or they're having trouble even understanding their emotions, or they are withdrawing from their own emotions or distracting themselves from their own emotions. We could feel very self-conscious about ourselves. We could feel very intimidated by speaking about sexuality. We could feel very intimidated in the bedroom, in a sexual setting with a partner, like no matter who it is, no matter how long we've been with someone. We could have insecurities about our own bodies. We could have insecurities about our truest sexual desires, or we could be overacting and being very sexually explicit. And there's always there's always an imbalance, like what is too much and what is not enough. And I think that's really up to you and up to your happiness, and your motive. So we can't really judge another person of what is an overactive sexual life. What is an overactive sexual life? Like, you have your own threshold, but when you judge another individual, again, that is basically you pointing out the fact that you have trauma in your sacral chakra because you have a disbelief, or you're living in a world, or you're speaking a truth that is different than your internal truth. So we feel a struggle and we feel like we have to say something, or we're quick to defend, or something like that. We may also feel shame about our bodies or sexual experiences or speaking about sex or the act of. So it's a very open thing. It's part of life. It's part of nature. And if we've been shamed in the past for it, then this can create a block in our sacral chakra, like in the present. Or we could have had this block for so long. Maybe we've been married for 10 years and we just never take our shirt off during intimacy when we're intimate, or we have the same routine, or we're just kind of afraid to venture into, doing things that aren't the typical sexual acts. Okay. And I feel like we need to be a little bit more open and understanding, and remember that we're animals and that we're sexual beings, and that part of our creativity is sexuality. Like they are intertwined, like spirituality, sexuality. Like, you feel better about yourself and your body and intimacy in general when you are really raw and truthful and you have no masks and you don't have any insecurities. So just know, like, that's really some imbalances in sacral chakra, and has to do with sex. Also money and abundance, feeling like you have enough or not enough, or skewed ways of thinking about money, or using money as power, if you've seen that in your life. I really hope these videos come out. It is so windy here. So the sacral chakra can be out of balance if you are somebody who searches for happiness in material goods, shopping, buying things. You're like, I'm bored, like, what's gonna bring me happiness? Let me go buy something new. Now let's look at what the sacral chakra looks like if it's balanced, if it's healed. So first and foremost, you are able to share your feelings in a very expressive, healthy, normal way, using a lot of I statements. I feel this way. Your relationships are happy, and you are being creative, and you are doing things, and you're out, and you're always thinking and creating. I say creating so many times, but like that's the thing. Is like you're always doing things. You're coming up with new ideas. You're trying new things. You have a healthy relationship with another individual or yourself. When our sacral chakra is balanced, our clairsentient abilities really start to come through. So if you're looking to have more of those, where you get the feelings in your body, like your physiology, your physiology is different. You get the shakes, the shivers, the chills, you just start knowing things. You might hear like a song or a memory or smell something. Like, those abilities start to enhance once the blocks are gone from your sacral chakra. Money also comes in very easily for you. You don't ever feel a lack. You aren't talking about your problems to your friends. If you are in a healthy sacral chakra and you start to notice that other people are speaking negatively around you about their problems all the time, just know that that's because your sacral chakra is balanced and theirs is not. Okay, so let's look at, in the physical body, what the sacral chakra is kind of responsible for. Okay, I'm going to read some things for you. The womb, so uterus, genitalia, lower vertebrae, your pelvis area, appendix, bladder, hips, kidneys. Okay, so all of those, liver in there, colon, those areas are sacral chakra blocks. Okay, and that means we would need some energy healing and balancing in that area. And there, it could have been, it's energy that could have manifested from the lack of attention from a trauma or a physical trauma. Okay, now some common physical dysfunction that you might feel due to an imbalance of your sacral chakra could be things like chronic lower back pain, sciatica, gynecological problems, pelvic pain, impotence, frigidity, uterine, bladder, kidney problems. Okay, so that might amount from having that severely imbalanced sacral chakra. If you are looking to balance this, the best thing to do is for you to get into a meditative position, state, get some quiet space. Go on to YouTube, look up sacral chakra meditation. I want you to envision the color orange, and I already told you before where it was. If you don't remember, go back to the beginning of the video. It's right above, like, where your pelvis would sit, and imagine what a lotus flower looks like opening up in a clockwise position and just kind of floating in the air and spinning. And you can use crystals like carnelian, tiger's eye. You can use orange or tangerine quartz. You can use amber. These are all really good crystals. Fire quartz, these are all really good orangey brownish crystals that you can use to help balance that chakra. If you happen to have any like lang lang or patchouli, I personally don't like patchouli, but I do like lang lang. If you have any of those lying around and you want to put that in the diffuser, and remember to focus in on that area of your stomach when you're meditating, and try to find the balance, try to ask for the blocks to come through that are creating the problems in your sacral area, and just kind of allow the memories and visuals and the smells and the physical memory also come back. So what I'm going to touch upon really quickly, if the wind allows me, is when we have blocks in our sacral chakra, it could be due to sexual abuse, molestation, or rape. And those memories can come through in the same way that they were created. So if you just happen to be in a position where you had a long-term sexual abuse, then just know that the sensation of an orgasm could bring about negative memories or negative experiences. You might withdraw from sex because of that. And just know that the experience has to really do with a lack of control. I'll probably make a longer video about this. But just know that the clairsentient abilities, your physical abilities, or the physical reactions that your body would go through normally, those are now becoming like your superpower. And I'm going to explain to you what I'm talking about. So I was sexually assaulted as a child, and just the feeling that I would get down there, just like you know the feeling, okay? And I mean, associated with pleasure. And now that I'm a psychic medium, if I am walking by an individual and I get that feeling down there, I personally instantly know that that person has either sexually molested another individual or they've been sexually molested themselves. So my body talks to me through my traumas, through my pain, but it's not until I clear that sacral chakra block that I understand and know how to use those, because a lot of the time we associate it with a different thing, or we may think of it as like a fixation instead of something that we have to heal. And that's really when we don't understand that trauma that's coming back is not a fixation, that it's a memory that we need to heal. When we realize that, that's how we can stop passing on our trauma, is when we recognize that the feelings and the memories and the pictures and the sounds and the things that are coming back to us are just memories. They're just meant for us to heal. They're not meant for they're not obsessions. They're not meant for us to focus on them. It doesn't mean we're a bad person. It means that now we just have like these superpowers that we're kind of given, and it's insanely worked for me in the past. So I'll end it there. This one is a little long, but thank you so much for being part of my Patreon, and I would love to hear from you guys. Go ahead and write down in the comments. All right, and I'll see you in my next video.